Hey, so how about them daily vlogs, huh? Yeah, believe it or not, this is why I actually wanted to do these daily vlogs. Not because I couldn't keep up with them, which was inevitable. I can't keep up with anything I try to do. Just things get busy. But, because I can't keep up with MMORPGs. This is one of the big problems I have with MMOs. I love them from a conceptual standpoint, but I don't have the time to really devote to playing them and getting into a guild and teaming up with my friends and so on and so on and so on. You know, it's like, sometimes I can, but a lot of the times I don't have the time to set aside and really go, yeah, let's arrange to do, to meet up at this time today. And like, cripes, there have been some 4-player games I've been wanting to play over the internet with my friends for like well over a year, and we just haven't been able to sync things up. And at this point, I'm just playing it solo. I haven't even attempted to get any of my friends into it, but I have indeed been playing Final Fantasy XIV all month, and I have renewed. I am doing at least a second month, and thank goodness you don't have to, you actually don't have to subscribe. You can just buy another month, which is definitely how I'm gonna do things, because like I said, sometimes I get too busy to bother playing the game, so there's going to be a couple months where I will not be playing the game, and it would be nice to not have to pay for that. So I'm just gonna pay every time I go, oh yeah, I want to play this for another month. But right now, yeah, definitely doing another month. You didn't miss too much while I was gone either. I spent most of my time just leveling my crafting skills. Like, that was the thing. Like, the reason why I haven't been doing these is because I just haven't found the time, and I've just been playing for like an hour or two late at night. Usually it's like, oh, like, one of the first ones after I went radio silent there was I was just watching Maximilian Dude stream Final Fantasy VII on the other monitor while I grinded my weaving skills, trying to get that taffeta top. Of course, now it's like I need Diorite Web, and I've run out of Thunder Shards, and I'm desperately trying to figure out how to grind those. Lightning Shards. I need Lightning Shards. Turns out you get, like, I had 500 of them, but that's because they were quest rewards for becoming a weaver, and now I'm like, crap, how do I get more lightning shards? I've been trying to grind that, and that's been silly. But one thing I can safely say is that this... Okay, so I did recently go out and buy a new laptop because I desperately needed one, and decided to use and one of the things I wanted to try using was Steam's streaming function. Because you can actually stream from, like, a good computer to your laptop elsewhere in the house. And I decided I was going to try that. Worked pretty good, except, I still ran into some problems. There's still definitely some artifacting, and one time there was a connection issue in the middle of a Chocobo race. But it did work relatively well enough, allowing me to play Final Fantasy XIV while laying in bed. Which is why I love the fact that it supports the gamepad. The gamepad, because have you tried to play an MMO using the little trackpad on a laptop? Doesn't work that great. You can't really lay there doing keyboard and mouse in bed unless you get like a piece of wood, and it's just a mess. But like with a controller, yeah, no, I can lay in bed and I can play Final Fantasy XIV, which is what I've been doing these past couple nights. Just before bed, I log in and do an hour of Final Fantasy XIV, and amazingly, it's been working out. And it's here that I realize that there's a few things I realized. Number one, this game has not bored me. I am constantly finding new things to do, new stuff to do, and they have made the ultimate MMO for antisocial people, which is good, because a hefty amount of the Final Fantasy player base are antisocial. They don't want to talk with people and arrange things and have to communicate. They just want to play a single-player RPG, and amusingly enough, Final Fantasy XIV delivers on that. Which you'd think, hey, doesn't that defeat the purpose of playing an MMORPG? But it also manages to make the online work even without communicating with people, because of the way the teaming up with people in Fates work, and just... They've actually made an MMO that I can just play for an hour or two every night, make actual progress in, and go to bed. And that's amazing. I know I've said this story, I've probably said this story once or twice before, but the way most MMOs go with me is I get in there and I go, okay, I need to gain levels. And that means I run out to this area that has this one type of enemy that's the exact same level as me. I just beat up on it and beat up on it and beat up on it. And all it is I click on the enemy, I wait for it to fall over. Click on the next one, wait for it to fall over. Eventually, I get bored. I look to the left, and there's a bear over there. And it's like a couple levels higher than me, but it's like, I am not even taking damage from these enemies that are the same level as me. I'm gonna go take out that bear over there. I bet it'll get me a big, like, pile of experience and actually be a worthwhile fight. And then either I get my ass kicked or I beat it up and I get friggin' nothing from it. This absolutely, positively has never happened in Final Fantasy XIV. They've sidestepped this completely. Not only because, number one, way better enemy variety. Like, your first quest when you try to do any job is beat up 3 of these 3 different types of enemies. There's 3 different types of, like, low-level starting grind-on-them enemies, even though you won't really need to grind on them very long. You level up pretty fast right now. Seriously, by the time you finish your first quest, you'll be, for, like, a class, you'll be level 3, 4, or 5. Like, it's actually pretty easy. But on top of that, the bear has been replaced with fates. And I know I've talked about how much I love fates, but the more I play this game, the more I realize how much of a complete and utter revolution fates are. Fates make Final Fantasy XIV. They are, like, one of the main reasons why this game is better than other MMOs. And if there are any other MMOs that do anything like a Fate, let me know. If you're just joining us right now and you're wondering what a Fate is, a Fate stands for Free Active Time Event. What it really means is that anytime you go into any map, there's like 2 or 3 different purple spots somewhere on the map. And if you walk into them, you walk into a quest, and it just starts instantly. Like, you don't need to talk to any NPC, you don't need to turn them in, you just walk to this spot, and for a limited time, there's a quest going on there. I'm walking down the road, boom, you've joined a Fate. Oh, there's wild dogs attacking travelers, go beat them up, and you can ignore it and just leave. But if you actually decide to hop in, you get rewards based on your contribution, based on how many wild dogs you beat up. And if more people see, and like, they're open to everyone. So you can look, so when I was doing that, I looked to my right, I saw like 3 other people beating up wild dogs, and I don't even have to talk to them, I don't have to communicate or arrange with them, I can just run in there and start beating up wild dogs with them. And, you know, we all get our rewards based on our contributions, and it works out great because I'm a pugilist first and foremost, and that means I do more damage hitting from the side or the back. So if someone else is distracting an enemy, or at least has them preoccupied, if I can run up behind them and hit them in the back, I do more damage, I helped out, hey, it all works out. And they're constantly popping up in the form of all sorts of different things. And it can make even the most just random, boring grinding experience kind of exciting. Like, I mentioned that I ran out of lightning shards, and I've hunted down the little lightning elementals I need to beat up to get more lightning shards, and there aren't nearly enough of them for me to grind on. So I'm beating up all the lightning elementals in the area, waiting for them to respawn, when all of a sudden I notice that there's like a giant bird over there. Oh hey, it's Gluttonous Gertrude. Okay, I'll beat that up, help 3 other people beat that up. Oh, hey, there's a giant enemy crab over there. I'll help those people beat that up. Oh, hey, now these dodos are like there's too many dodos. You have to go destroy their nests. Okay. And then like one time I'm running back and I see this NPC run past me. I see someone run past me, and I'm like, if they're running to that Fate that just opened up, I'll help them out. Turns out it was an NPC. Because the Fate was, oh hey, there's all these Aurochs blocking the road, and the travelers can't get through, clear them out. So they're actually standing on the sidelines complaining, and I run in there and I help them out. One time I saw someone, one time I failed a Fate, but I still got some rewards for it, where I just saw some random merchant being attacked by these bandits, And I beat up a few of the bandits, but the merchant was already getting beat up and I couldn't save him. But I still got some rewards for it. And now that I've joined a Grand Company, I get Grand Company points for doing fates, which I can spend at the company store to get, like, military uniforms and stuff. So yeah, it's super cool. I got my Chocobo now, and I'm just loving these fates. I'm loving their dynamic nature. Even though I've beat up that same giant enemy crab, like, 3 times now, it's still more exciting than just sitting there grinding on random enemies. Not that you'd even have to do that, because the nature of the main quest is such a big, like, that really helps this game out. That's one of the things that sort of defines it as a Final Fantasy. Yeah, it has a completely linear, story-driven, cutscene-filled main quest, and while that may go against the idea of the freedom an MMO usually has, which there's still plenty of other quests that are completely optional that you can do, having that pre-worn groove in this game's progression helps. Because there's no question about what should I do next. How do I make something interesting happen? How do I make progress? How do I see a new area, get a new feature? How do I move? How do I gain levels? The answer is always just do the main story quest. It'll get you cutscenes and cool boss fights and introduce you to new features and dungeons. And I know there's a way to play it multiplayer somehow, but you can just solo that. And then on the way to soloing that, you can bump into fates where you team up with other people without ever having to even talk to them. And then, you know, they force you into the parties for the dungeons, which are all instanced. And yeah, you can actually, if you want to replay any of those dungeons, you can do that from literally friggin' anywhere. And then I found out about the dungeon roulette. Apparently the big daily thing that most people do is the dungeon roulette, wherein it just throws you into a random party in a random dungeon. And it's like, that's brilliant. Because obviously, since it has the level sync thing, so you can synchronize your level with your party members, you're never too high a level and you don't make anything too easy and help people twink their way through any dungeons. So that means you can just go to any dungeon. So doing level roulette helps the game fill out people's parties when it's like, hey, I need to do this dungeon in order to make story progress. Who wants to join me? You could get way higher level people helping you out because they'll just be level synced to help you in that dungeon and they'll join up. And the level sync, and then they have the bonus thing where it says, hey, this person is new to this dungeon. It's their first time doing it. If you veterans help them clear it particularly quickly, you get bonuses. And it's just, they really thought this out. Well, more accurately, it's a game that has been out for more than 5 years. They've learned many lessons along the way. This is one of the nice things about an aged MMO, and I do like this, is that the older an MMO is, the more features they can put in, and the more kinks they can work out on it, and the more fleshed out game you eventually get. And now they really have a lot of the game worked out into a nice science. If this is definitely a game where, like, because I mentioned that I have some friends that are kind of interested in the game. There's certainly others I kind of want to, like, tell about how awesome this game is. As it stands right now, I would not feel bad if, this probably sounds really stupid, but if I introduced my friends to this game and then I wound up abandoning it because I was too busy, I wouldn't feel bad for it because there's so much to do that you don't need friends for. I don't need them to play with me. I'd like to, because I'd always like to play more games with my friends, but I don't actually need them. Because I can just get into dungeons and quests and fun things on my own, just farting around. And cripes, just... And, I am amused by the ability to, like, review and commend one of the people that helped you out in a dungeon. Because last time I did a dungeon, everyone commended me, and I'm like, is this just because I'm wearing an awesome silver bikini? And now I have my bunny suit. I farted around in the gold saucer long enough that I have the bunny bottoms and the bunny shoes, and I don't need the top. The band doesn't even show up for Vieira's, and they don't need it, and the cuffs are stupid. So, I'm good. I got my bunny suit. But I've also found out about the way the class system works. If this game has any major flaw, it would definitely be that there's not a lot of character customization. I don't just mean, like, looks-wise, the character customization is okay, but stat-wise, it's very linear. But that winds up kind of being a good thing, because that's what allows the whole, like, level down system and level syncs to work, is the fact that you have this linear progression. I was really hoping for multi-classing, but there is no multi-classing. But what there is, as I've mentioned a few times before, you don't have a character level, you have class levels. So, I'm a level 25 pugilist now, but I can switch to conjurer, and I'm a level 5 conjurer. But the cool thing is, you can actually create an equipment set and assign that to different buttons on your hotbar, and you can instantly switch classes on the fly. Now, I'm sure there's restrictions for this. I'm sure I can't just switch classes all willy-nilly in the middle of a dungeon. That would kind of defeat the purpose of a whole lot of things. But I am amused by it, especially because I have different outfits for the different classes, because they're different levels, and they're using different gear and stuff, and it's like, oh my goodness, I have dress spheres. On that note, this game could really benefit from getting some Final Fantasy X-2 equipment in here. I'm just saying, you know, wouldn't mind having Yuna's booty shorts or like Riku's outfit. And there's, you know, a lot of people kind of like Riku's outfits. So, you know, Final Fantasy X-2 outfits. Actually, Riku's Gambler Lady Luck dress is another like really good one. But yeah, no, you get the idea. I'm very amused that I almost have dress spheres. That is amusing me. I have started fiddling around with other classes, because I'd like to help out better in Fates. Because, you know, I see these people beating up a giant crab, I kind of want to run over there and, like, especially when there's, like, a huge mob of things, I wish I had an area of effect attack. And I also wish I could heal, so I'm really looking forward to getting Dancer, because Dancer is the goal. It really looks like the class I want to play. So that means what I really need to do is stick with Pugilist until I get it to level 60. So, trying to do that. And also, I found out, like, just recently, there's actually, like, a photography mode in the game. You type /G pose, and you can, like, mess with lighting and depth of field, and it could look all pretty. There's so many just crazy, wacky, random features in this game. There's so much to do, and I'm not bored. That's the most important thing. This game has not made me bored. It is keeping me very engaged, and I'm very impressed with that. So yeah, like, and I am a very hard sell when it comes to MMORPGs because of my short attention span, and I want to play, basically, I want to play with people, I just don't have the time to commit to joining a guild and arranging things with friends. What I want to do is I want to just be able to, like, Skype a friend and be like, hey, you want to play some Final Fantasy 14? Okay, sure, let's hop in there together. I don't want to have to, you know, arrange a date and a time for us to meet up and stuff. And more than that, I don't even want to have to do that. I don't want to have friends to play multiplayer, or even make friends to play multiplayer. So, like, what I need in my life is the quick play MMO. I need something where I can do a match with randoms, basically, where I don't have to set things aside. I hope you understand that, Jade Kami, in the off chance you're listening. Oh, me and him were having a slight tangent. I want to highlight this for a minute, where I'm talking about matches with randoms. He likes to really challenge. He's a fun viewer. I really appreciate him. I need to play the games he gifted me. But he likes to play devil's advocate, and we were talking about Final Fantasy Dissidia NT, and I was complaining about the lack of one-on-one, and technically you can do one-on-one if you make a custom room and do all this other fiddly crap, and I was saying, yeah, but that doesn't matter because you can't just get into matches with randoms. And he was saying, why do matches with randoms matter so much? This is why. Because I don't have the time to go into the Discord and say, hey, to join the Discord, get in there and say, hey, who wants to 1v1 me in this game that I don't even know if I really like yet? The ability to play with randoms is incredibly important in a multiplayer game, and I didn't think it was possible for an MMORPG to give me a can I just play with randoms button. And then here comes Final Fantasy XIV giving me, like, not even a button. It's just a walk up to the purple spot and you're playing with randoms fun zone. And then also a, hey, who wants to do this dungeon matchup with randoms thing, which since you can do that from literally anywhere, there actually is a play a match with randoms button in this game where you just go through a dungeon with random people. It's amazing. They delivered the thing I didn't think anyone could actually make, and I like it. I like so much about this game. Like, and now, like, I really, really, really want to tell one of my friends about it, because like, he also is a very hard sell on MMOs, and I've tried to get him into a bunch of different MMOs with me, and it's never really worked out. You know, he played Dungeon Fighter for a bit, but then that shut down, and things were a mess. Point is, like, basically for him, it's like PSO and City of Heroes, pretty much. And he's very excited to play City of Heroes on a private server that's been opened up, and I want to find a way to tell him, hey, some of the things that made City of Heroes really cool, it's kind of in here. The Fates kind of deliver an expansion of that. The Fates and the way the instance dungeons work. Like, this takes some of my favorite non-customization based elements of City of Heroes and makes it work. Because I liked City of Heroes mostly for the character creation. I remember finagling it to work on a controller. But I liked the fact that instead of random battles, you were actually stopping random purse snatchers and people stealing the tires off of cars. I liked that, and I liked that there was a party finder function, so you could find a party and just do a dungeon together with relative ease. And I know there's a party finder in FF14 that I haven't even messed with yet. I haven't actually messed with actually partying up with people. But if you just want to do a random dungeon with people, that's even easier than City of Heroes. And the Fates are like a hyper evolution of saving old ladies from getting their purses stolen. I love it. I love it. There's a lot I like about this game. I will probably make a few other vlogs on this game as more things happen, but until more things happen, yeah, no, this is looking very promising. So, I hope you've enjoyed this vlog series. I need to figure out how I'm going to get more lightning shards, which has become just such a grand mystery. Really, I should just ask. I bet I could just go on game FAQs and be like, how do I get large sums of lightning shards? Because it seems kind of silly. How hard I have to grind for them. I know, I feel like I'm doing something very wrong here. But yeah, I hope I can maybe get some of my friends into this. But first, I probably need to server migrate to Leviathan. I don't know. We'll figure things out. No, next steps is definitely teaming up with my more MMO-obsessed friend who is on Leviathan, probably trying the cross-world system. I don't know. I know we've got server maintenance tomorrow anyway. So, who knows how long I'll be able to play for tomorrow. But, I'm very much enjoying the game. Hope you've enjoyed this vlog series. I will do a new entry if I can think of new things to talk about. But, this has been a hoot. This is interesting. I'm There's a reason why the servers are overloaded and everyone's playing this game. It earned it. See y'all later.